Karissa Collins is the supreme leader of TikTok's current worst overly religious family channel, which if you've been on the internet for any amount of time, I mean, you'll know that there are plenty of them to go around. This isn't the first, and unfortunately, it certainly will not be the last. Pretty clear that at this point, this is just a drop in a bucket that's full of American offshoot of Christianity type family channels that use religion as a crutch for their horrible behavior, as well as their grossly negligent and irresponsible parenting practices. All of which are going to be covered in this whole video here, which is rather extensive as you can tell from the video length and the video chapters, which, I mean, give them a quick read and you'll realize just how horrible this family is right off the bat. But before that, say hello to my cat. His name is Prince, full name, Prince Nassim Hamed. I soft launched him on stream recently, which was very fun, and you all bullied him and called him ugly. Just FYI, Devon Rexes have a shedding phase, so in a couple, and this wee thing's only 3 months old, in a couple months or so, it'll have a full coat of beautiful, amazing fur. There it goes on my shoulder, having a great time. He's lovely, isn't he? Come on, Prince, give us something. He's a little terrified. But don't you look like me? Ah. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch Prince grow into a king. Alright, now let's talk about this family, starting with this old 40 million view video. So there's nothing inherently offensive about this video, in my opinion at least. It's just sort of a regular video on, you know, family channels, which family channels as a whole, just as a concept, I'm not a fan of. I mean, I'm sure you know that if you've been on this channel for any amount of time. But as family channels go, this video is pretty inoffensive, right? It's just, you know, the parents participating in the TikTok trend where they show the children they have, how old they were, how old the kids are, and so on and so forth, right? It's whatever, but the point is, I'm trying to show you the general vibe of the Collins family before we actually get into the controversy so that you know what we're talking about here. You need some faces in your mind as I go through the incredibly insane bollocks that these people are doing. Like, some of this shit is ridiculous. I can barely believe it. See, this is just more of them being a regular family channel. You get the vibe, right? It's very, very, I guess, normal on the surface. Like, basically every other family channel with a horrifically dark underbelly. Think the Ace family, think, I don't know, you know, Ruby Frankie, for example. They all seem relatively harmless unless you know the internet. Anyway, we'll begin the controversies off with Karissa Collins, the mother of this family's controversial birth plans. So here's a list of the wishes that Karissa wanted when giving birth to their children. Give it to her right off the bat. She's got quite nice handwriting. You gotta give someone credit where it's due. You go, pain-free, fast, minimal bleeding, short labor, energy to put, all pretty standard stuff so far. You can't really disagree with any of it. Prince, you have to get off the keyboard, mate. Sorry. No. Get off the escape key. Now, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I am going to skip to this quite noteworthy wish over here. All girls watching, which the OP has helpfully put a red arrow there to show us. And also, luckily, I want to point out that there's a cross there, which means that all the girls weren't watching when this child was being given birth to. I'm not sure exactly why you would want all your girls to watch the child come out of your pussy. It's like notoriously quite a grotesque sort of place to be, high-stress situation, a lot of midwives in the room, or well, to be fair, a lot of it, these people do home births, which we'll get to later because there's a whole controversy there as well. I guess it's not inherently harmful as far as I'm aware. Maybe there's something to it that I'm just not sure about. I'll put it this way, I don't know anyone, there is no one in my life personally who would be okay and especially wish for all of their children to witness another one of their children being born. And as I say this, I have to like bear in mind this is pretty standard for family channels on TikTok. Like, this is one of the most normal requests in the world for them. For a TikTok family channel, having all of your daughters watch you give birth is like drinking water or breathing air. Anyway, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you are, those daughters weren't able to watch their mother give birth to their siblings. So you'd assume the reason for that is because they wanted it to be a bit more low-key, a bit more appropriate. Well, here's an image of all the people that did watch the birth. So this is a birth party, which I'm not sure if those are normal in America, but there's a party where when the mother gives birth, they invite just a bunch of people in the family to watch it happen. So grateful for the amazing support I received at his birth last night. God has truly sent me the best friends ever, missing 2 women who came later on. So glad my mum got to witness it before she left early this morning to head home to Kansas City. She truly was a great support. I can't imagine any medical scenario where I would want this many people watching me, like in a hospital, but even if I was dying, like on my last breath, I wouldn't want this many people there. That just seems fucking awkward to me. Like if I'm dying, even if I've had a great life, I'm surrounded by family who love me, adore me, just, you know, want to be around me in my last moments or whatever, which is lovely, right? That's a great thing to happen. It's how everyone wants to go out ideally, right? But in my mind, I'm sat there like, you know what? I'd rather be on my ones. Maybe my wife, I guess, if they're still alive before I die. It's getting a bit bleak, but whatever. In my mind, I'm like, if everyone's surrounding me, I'm just sat there like, all right, this is just awkward now, because I know what I'm like a dancing monkey, except the trick is to die. Everyone's sat around me like, fucking, like, go on then. We got shit to do. Like, I have to go to work tomorrow. Can you just fucking get on with it, pal? And the same goes for if I was giving birth. I wouldn't want that many people there either. I'm not sure I'll have to worry about that, but, you know, I can dream it up. I've received one too many fan arts of myself pregnant to disregard the possibility of it ever happening. That's the first piece of fan art I ever received, by the way, was me pregnant. What a great introduction to YouTube stardom. My big girls got to witness it as well. Okay, so I guess some of the daughters were able to watch it happen. Got what, there's some cheese and crap. This is like the whitest family gathering ever. You're in this overly Christian household somewhere in, I'm guessing Utah, but I'm not sure about that. I think it's like Kansas or something like that. Or Texas, one of those places. But, I mean, it gives Utah vibes. It's supposed to be a big celebration, a big party, and you got one of your eldest daughters handing up cheese and crackers and what looks like a bit of, I don't know, what is that? Sliced kiwi? Doritos? I don't know what that is. So a bit of ham. This is like a Lunchable. They've just put Lunchables on a charcuterie board. Might as well get a pint of red wine with it as well, except replace the red wine with Ribena or milk. Oh shit, I forgot. Look, the dad is black. I mean, I can tell who wears the pants in this relationship because there's no way, there's no black family I know that would allow any party with food like that being served. If I'm getting black motive, there's jollof rice, there's plantain, there's chicken, there's everything, you know what I mean? There's no cheese, there's no crackers. In that context, my usage of the word crackers sounds rather derogatory, but I'm not talking about those types of crackers. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's different when you're giving birth to a baby. You don't want to concern yourself with making jollof, you know? You got a whole fucking human being to deliver. I get it, right? I understand. So here's Carissa's home birth box, because, like I said earlier, Karissa likes to do home births. Here are her must-haves: towels, which you already have at home, scissors to cut the cord, underpads to put on the bed, floor, chairs for easy cleanup, umbilical cord. You get the wait, hang on. I was gonna say you get the idea and move on, but then I saw $1. You get a $1 umbilical cord clamp for your birth? You're a fucking millionaire. Like, well, I'm not sure if you're making good money. Adult diapers, fair enough. Waste bags, yeah, sure, that makes sense as well. Fun fact, a lot of people, when they give birth, shit all over the baby because when they're pushing, it's the same motion as when they're shitting. There's nothing embarrassing about it. It's a medical thing. There's no shame in it at all. Just, well, maybe not a fun fact, but a fact. This bit's a bit worrying. Sanitizing wipes I use for the scissors to cut the cord and any hard cleanup. Yet sanitizing wipes aren't sterile. Like, that there is legitimately dangerous. You're gonna cause some real harm here, inevitably, at some point. Like, I would presume, though, if anything does go wrong, you're not gonna, exactly be public about it because it's very obvious why it went wrong. That's really all you need. I also get little extras for fun. Yeah, nothing to improvise. Have a bit of fun when you're giving birth to your human being. That is like the #1 situation where you want to experiment a little bit, be a bit more creative. This is not a game of chess. This is literally your childbirth. You should probably take it a bit more seriously, follow tradition slightly. Also, if I've not made it clear, you need to get a fucking midwife. Like, they even mention here specifically, we don't use a midwife, so we get it ourselves, and my birth box cost me $50. They get a $1 shower curtain at the dollar store to give birth on, then roll it up for easy cleanup. You're not a fucking cat. You're not giving birth to your kid on a recyclable litter tray, pal. But the whole point of home births was to, like, give birth to your kid in the place where you're most comfortable. But a $1 shower curtain from the dollar store doesn't exactly sound that comfortable, so it sort of removes the whole purpose of the home birth. Also, I'm sorry, but, like, you gotta use a midwife, especially when because you have the money pay for it, like. This is like having a beautiful steak dinner in front of you and just eating the asparagus. Jesus Christ, I'm reading this, like, Instagram post here, and they really do just overshare fucking everything about, like, these kids have no privacy whatsoever. It's one thing if you're recording videos and you're a family channel, it's just a channel in general, an influencer, and you have kids, and they end up in a shot every now and then, like, that's totally understandable. I don't think necessarily that that's immoral in any way, but when they become the center of your content, like, oversharing this information about them becomes your entire brand, yeah, I think that's a real problem. You've also called the kid Anchor. Fuck me. I mean, it's just classic influencers giving their children shit names. Prince here has a more human-like name than Anchor. He's just shoved his paw in my mouth. Prince, come on, what you doing, pal? You can get back on my lap, Prince. Nope, you don't want to. Alright, we'll keep him there then. You can do what you want then, Prince, I guess. Feels as if she was fasting during the pregnancy, which, for those who don't know, fasting during pregnancy is at best not recommended, at worst very dangerous. I guess it depends on the type of fasting. I'd hope that it wasn't too, I guess, violent, for lack of a better word. Oh, Prince! You're ruining my hair, mate. The rest of the post is about circumcision and how God told her not to circumcise the kid, so they didn't, and it saved their life, but you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that whole conversation. Anyway, now I'm gonna show you something that Karissa posted on her story, and you're gonna reel back at just how not surprised you are by this. 7 ways to say no to vaccines at the pediatrician office. What are we gonna see? Number 1, no. Number 2, no, which is no in Spanish. Number 3, no, which is no in French. Number 4, la, which is no in Arabic. I love the idea of being given the offer to, like, vaccinate the child, getting this Instagram post up, trying way number 1, it doesn't work. Shit, let me just Anyway, this is a repost from an account called Freedom Loving Mama. Personally, I'm more of a cooking mama type of guy. Anyway, number 1, don't go. No, but seriously, you really don't need to go to any well visits unless you feel there is something wrong with your child. And the whole point of the well visits is to keep your kids safe. You should definitely go to them because they will catch something before you do. I hate this idea, right? Can we just get rid of the idea that because you had the child, you know everything that's best for the kid? Like, you get so many entitled fucking parents be like, I know what's best for my child. They're my fucking child. Who else would know what's best for them? Prince, for example, is my cat, right? I love him. He's mine. But I don't know what's best for him. And he, like, well, I know what's best for him more so than, I guess, an average person. But a vet, for example, probably knows more about what Prince needs than I do. In the same way that a doctor or a medical expert knows more about your baby's needs than you probably do, which is a stark contrast to the bio here, which says, but the truth is you are the expert when it comes to your children, and you are the one responsible for keeping them safe and healthy. Half of that is true. You are the one responsible for keeping them safe and healthy, which is why you should probably take them to the well visits. You gotta get this guy off me. Come on, Prince. Get off me. I don't want to talk too loudly in your ear. Oh, fuck it, he's farted. It smells horrible. Ask if the nurse/doctor will sign a legal waiver promising the vaccines won't harm your child, and if they do, that they will be personally liable for any adverse reactions. They won't ever agree to signing it. Yeah, no shit, mate. No shit. Partially because, yeah, there is a risk to vaccinations. No one has ever claimed that vaccinations are completely risk-free and will have no negative effect on anyone on the planet. It's just that the good greatly outweighs the bad the vast majority of the time. And the people who have very rare adverse reactions to vaccinations are so statistically low that it should not influence your decision to vaccinate your child, in my opinion. Ask to see the law that says vaccines are mandatory. There aren't any. This is not how to say no to vaccinate your child. This is how to be the most annoying patient at the hospital ever. This is how to be the one fucking mother that all the doctors go back to the office and chat shit about. Anyway, Karissa Collins gives their horrific vaccine story to justify the choice to not vaccinate the children. I started to get really convicted about vaccinating with my 3rd child. I felt sick about it and people started to warn me, so I sought my pastor. He told me that you can look up the pros and cons on Google and will find all kinds of stories about vaccinating and not vaccinating. This is true for everything. You will see all sides on Google. For every single truth, although some have been intentionally removed, and that is usually a sign of the truth trying to be covered up, so he simply prayed over his children and followed doctor's orders. So I followed in his footsteps, I prayed over my children and continued to vaccinate. That is the most reputable source of information, by the way, stories on Google. And by stories, where are those stories coming from? Like mums.net, if that's a website? Probably Reddit, actually. Reddit is where the majority of these fucking stories are coming from. God's voice eventually got louder, so I decided to space them out. I have always bled in pregnancy and no one could ever pinpoint why. I have always received all vaccines in pregnancy. She says here that she had 2 children that had adverse vaccine reactions, but the nurses there said that it had nothing to do with the vaccinations, which, I mean, statistically, they probably didn't have anything to do with the vaccinations. The medical professionals probably know what they're talking about a bit more than you do. Because they're your children doesn't mean you know exactly what caused the illnesses. It doesn't sound exactly like you have the most, I guess, healthy household in terms of children. You've got a lot of young children, which are notoriously quite filthy and dirty and get ill quite easily, and they're spreading germs all around each other. You're doing home births on fucking $1 hangers with no midwives around. It's not, you know, completely outside the realm of possibility that someone can get really sick. For you to just blame everything bad that happens on the vaccinations as opposed to potentially your lack of responsibility parenting your children, I think is just immature. At her first appointment, the doctor convinced me to give her 2 shots. Fucking hell, that is way too early to be fair. Like, I thought the legal drinking age was like 21 in America. Getting them started young, I guess. I respect it in a way. She wasn't even due yet. She was only £4. That is really cheap, to be fair. It was terrible. I felt so much guilt. I prayed over her and then let them give her the shots. You know, those jokes I just thought they're in quite bad taste. I'll give you that. She then says that while she was breastfeeding, the vaccination shed onto her. So I guess she's saying that it went from the baby's mouth, like through her nipple into her fucking body. I don't know if that's a widely known phenomenon, but I'm not a medical professional, I guess. And then God told her to stop vaccinating her children. I'm not sure exactly. Everything she does, she justifies with God told her to do it. How is God like, you go down pub with him? Do you write him letters? Like, how, I guess you're praying and you hear voices? Is that what it is? Or is it like an intuition? This one here is not exactly an insult. I just because I know a lot of Christians do sort of experience this sort of thing. It's more genuine curiosity more than anything. I've had a lot of really moving stories where people like hear voices or feel things as though they're being told something from God, but I've never heard it being told this flippantly, like it's a daily occurrence. Anyway, here's Karissa Collins in her first speaking role of this video.
Hi, Karissa. You're such a walking contradiction. You tell people it's my body, my choice when it comes to vaccinating, but they don't get a choice if they want to abort their baby. Hi. You are correct. A lot of people think I'm a walking...
Oh, no. I didn't know we were gonna enter this fucking territory with this video, but hey man, let's just fucking go for it.
But we're comparing apples and oranges here. When it comes to vaccinations, a lot of them contain aborted fetal cells. And so, do we really understand how these fetal cells are extracted from these babies? I challenge you to look it up, to do your research, and to see what really happens. They abort these babies with live births, and they extract the fetal cells through a live baby that is then left to die. So before you think that it's a contradiction to say my body, my choice, I just say look it up and do your research. These babies are aborted for our vaccinations. It is not for the greater good. Also, vaccinations go into my body. They don't go into anybody else's, and so therefore it is my choice.
Okay. Let's stop there, and let's actually do the research, because to me, that sounds like a whole lot of fucking barnacle water, or hot dog water, what's it called, barnacle, whatever, it's bullshit, it sounds like bullshit. You know what, fuck it don't sound like bullshit, I've not even googled it yet, but fuck you, that's not true. Vaccinations do not contain aborted fetal cells. Do vaccinations include aborted fetal cells? And look, by the way, you might think that this isn't enough research, but according to Karissa Collins, if you just Google it, that's enough. Vaccines do not contain fetal cells. There you go, man. She's full of shit.
Vaccinations are also used with a lot of poisons and pig's blood. Nothing that should really be injected into our bodies. Also, I believe 100% that God created us perfect, and it doesn't make any sense to me that we would give birth to a baby and then by the time they're 2, give them 25 plus vaccinations. If we really believe that God created us perfectly, that he knit our bodies, you know, all of the cells that are in our bodies and how amazing he created us, why would we then have to have vaccinations on top of that?
Oh, well, Karissa Collins, I'm noticing that you're wearing clothes there. God made you perfect. Why do you feel the need to clothe your body when God made you naked originally, right? Oh, I don't know. Is it because maybe humans developed clothes for biological purposes, such as warmth, maybe? And now clothes are just a normal part of our lives because we have been made. What separates humans from other animals is our intuition, you know, our adaptability. And part of that adaptability in the same way that we invented clothes is inventing vaccinations. Fucking such a dumb argument. God made us okay, cool, so never take any medicine, never wear any clothes, never cut your hair, never clip your fucking nails, never do your bastard makeup. There's so many things that you cannot do with that sort of logic. You don't want to acknowledge that. You just want to take the shit that sort of suits your, I don't know, political agenda. And if you think there is no political agenda and that I'm reaching, well, here's the next post we'll look at. Happy Thanksgiving, President Biden. Don't forget to get your mandated vaccine. And then a bunch of let's get vaccinated stickers with a big sarcasm thing there. I mean, it's a very funny joke. We gotta give her that. She's a fucking little comedian. I don't even get it. I don't even get the joke, man. I know it's like ironically or sarcastically telling people to get that. I think the whole thing here is that a lot of these like anti-vax influencers thought their content was being hidden from the algorithm. So if they use these stickers, that their stuff will get promoted more. So they want to promote their anti-vax shit with the vaccination stickers to, I guess, trick the system. Fucking ingenious, right? Anyway, that's that section over. Point of the day, get your kids vaccinated, folks. It's very important. Also, if you're over the age of 40, go get a colonoscopy. Not related to this, but you should do that. I'm smiling, but I'm actually being serious. You definitely should. Anyway, next is the questionable treatment of Karissa Collins' oldest child.
You said 12 children. You guys. Yay! Yay! Mommy's pregnant! Yay! You're pregnant! Mom, I knew it! Mom, you're pregnant! No, Mom, no! Mom, you're gonna have two. Wait, no!
I don't know what I'm gonna have, but yes, I'm pregnant.
Mom! She's pregnant! Give me it.
No way!
Look at that reaction to being told that the fact that the mum's pregnant, that's meant to be like one of the happiest moments in anyone's life. She's giving the camera a stare like, oh, you know what's about to go down, buddies. This is like a fucking scene from The Office, man. The way she looked at the camera there, like she was looking at everywhere else, mouth open, fucking gaping, so shocked, mesmerized, bewildered, gobsmacked, my bad. I humbly apologize for using the word bobsmacked, that's not a real thing. Sat there like, oh, another one of us. Oh my god, there's too many. We don't have enough cheese and crackers for all of them.
I'm not joking. I thought I was.
You can tell Dad.
Yeah,
You're pregnant!
Say, Mommy is pregnant!
Oh my god, there's some multiple. Because she gets pregnant so fucking often that they record new ones every time. And the reaction just gets worse and worse, man. This is fucking unreal. This is like a historic how many people can say they've gone through this shit? Especially on camera.
Mom! Baby mama, we got that baby mama.
That's the best reaction ever. Mom! Fuck's sake, why? Like, that is genuine annoyance. That's not happiness at all.
Mommy's pregnant.
A third one. There's 3. There's probably more, but there's 3 in this week compilation here. And they immediately just hide their face from the camera. Probably because they got scolded the last 2 times for hurting public perception of the family. Think like, oh shit, I don't want another bollocking. Let me just fucking hide this time. I can't even bear to pretend to be happy. You know what? I'm laughing, but it is quite fucked, unironically, because I feel like part of the reason why they're so disappointed, for lack of a better word, at the news every time is because they're the oldest child. So they're the most responsible one. Like, they're the one that gets like pinned with the responsibility of the kids when the parents aren't around, for example. So every child is basically someone that she needs to take care of as well. Like, she is being parentified to a almost traumatizing degree here. I don't imagine that is healthy or enjoyable for her at all.
I am uniquely qualified to talk to you about how fucked up this is, so we're gonna do exactly that. Yes, this is the mega family mom who recently went viral for her older daughter's horrified reactions at her announcing her 12th pregnancy. I have talked about my own background before, but I get new followers all the time, sometimes people miss things, so just a refresher, I'm the oldest of 8. I was homeschooled in a quiverful evangelical fundamentalist setting, K through 12, my entire life, and my mother was a somewhat well-known mommy blogger in the mid-2000s through the early 2010s. She was cited in somebody's dissertation on the cult of Quiverful. And wildest to me, this exact message right here, my mom went viral for writing a blog post with this exact message in the late 2000s in response to a popular finance show talking about how it's expensive to have kids.
I don't think you could find anyone with more of a qualification to talk about this sort of situation than this lassie right here, to be fair, unless you're maybe Ruby Frankie's daughter. But like, there's like less than 100 people who fucking can have this sort of of experience, especially because it's been documented online. So I'm interested in what we're about to hear, but hang on, before that, this fucking thing here is insane. 2 misconceptions: that you have to be a millionaire to have a big family, that kids cost a lot. Yeah, kids do cost a lot. There's no getting around that. Like. And to have 13 children in this day and age, I don't think it's a long shot to say that you should or need to be a millionaire at all. I would say the typical sort of suburban middle-class family in America, if you add up all their assets, it wouldn't be that far off $1 million for a lot of them. A lot of them would probably surpass it, and they have nowhere near 13 fucking children. How do you even enjoy... Like, this is off topic, but how do you even enjoy sex at that point when you've had 13 fucking kids? I don't mean to judge anyone who's had that many children. If you're doing it and you're happy, that's perfectly fine. I hope, you know, hope you and them are living a meaningful and blessed life. Hope all 13 of them are at home having fun, keeping the 13 fucking beds warm. But I'm mad. It's still mad. It's still mad, but we'll let this TikTok continue.
In the late 2000s, in response to a popular finance show talking about how it's expensive to have kids. I am not going to tell you what my mom's blog was, and I will be filtering the name out of the comments. I don't know why y'all think it's acceptable to ask people to serve up their trauma on a plate for you to consume when you're bored. Anyways, with that disclaimer out of the way, I in turn have gone viral before for talking about how when people say it's cheap to raise kids, when specifically quiverful mega families, which is what they are. If you read the article, they talk about how they were like enlightened in the way of quiverful after listening to a sermon. When they talk about how it is actually very cheap to have children, they always advocate for dropping one of 2 things. Number 1 is well child visits. It is a very common rhetoric within mega families that well child visits are a scam invented by doctors to rip you off. Yes, this does go extremely hand in hand with anti-vaxxing. How could you have guessed? This also stretches to apply to 6-month dental visits. They think you need to go like once every couple of years max. And if you think I'm exaggerating, check the comments. Come back, keep checking the comments here. I'm gonna have them in my comments arguing against well child visits. The second thing they always say that is fine and good even to cut to make children cheaper is extracurriculars. Back that one up with the rhetoric that your children should be each other's best friends. Who needs outside friends when you have 11 siblings? This also conveniently works out to way less work for the mom who is always the only active parent, because then she doesn't have to host or attend play dates or extracurriculars or anything. They just stay home all day and the older kids take care of the little kids. I went my entire childhood without having friends, and I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but it isn't. The first friend that I sort of had that I ever hung out with was when I was 16 years old.
I mean, it does sound like an exaggeration, but I fully fucking believe it. Like, I can totally imagine how you'd be in that sort of situation when you're in a family like this one, for example. Because it all sounds totally legit. Like, the only way you'd be able to actually advocate that having kids doesn't cost much is if you implemented all of these practices right here. Big up this TikToker here. I'll put their account on screen right now because this is a very insightful video. Go show them some love. Anistan woke up this morning and decided she was going to help Arma pee in the potty. Now he's full on potty training. So there you go. The oldest child teaching one of the kids how to potty train. Potty training the kid, not teaching the kid how to potty train. That's even more Inception. But I mean, yeah, this is pretty like definitive proof that the older kids are definitely being parentified to a bit of a gross degree here. This is the mother, once again, conveniently, just like the TikTok we just watched pointed out, avoiding responsibility because they have so many children and sort of levying it onto their children. Also, we can't move on without talking about these names. Anistan, is that like a fucking the long lost sister of Afghanistan, I guess, was helping Arma pee. Why have you named your fucking kid Arma? Like, that's horrible. It's as though she just fucking opened a dictionary and just flipped to a random page, picked a word, and went, alright, fuck it, that's my kid's name. If I did that right now, actually, I'd probably have a better name than fucking Arma. Let's do it. Random word. Random word generator. Sickness. Okay, maybe not. Sickness is probably a worse name than Arma. Anyway, here's Karissa Collins' famous multi-level marketing scheme, because, of course, they're a fucking scammer on top of everything else. So this is it. Plexus. They sell custom basics combos and weight loss stuff and advanced stuff, and there's a lot of combos here. Vegan chocolate. It's a health thing, I suppose. There is no scientific or verified, like, backing to any of these products, by the way. There's not even any proof that they're safe. And the reviews back that up pretty heavily. Like, there aren't many. The reviews are quite bad. They're not well-renowned products at all. It's exactly what you'd expect from a fucking TikTok family channel like this one. She's even sort of advocating for drinking the slim drinks whilst pregnant, which, once again, is pretty dangerous. Like, you cannot be encouraging that sort of thing. Feeling amazing, forgetting I'm pregnant, no swelling or inflammation, no cravings, regular. You seem quite reputable as a brand ambassador. I don't see how, your personal interest could interfere with, selling the brand at all. You're a very unbiased party. It's like me advocating for the Dankyjabo YouTube channel. It doesn't mean much coming from me now, does it? Naz, keep that gasp in because I've just discovered something fucking, like, genuinely disgusting here. So, on this post here, she's promoting Plexus, the drink company, the multi-level marketing scheme, the MLM we'll call it. Once again, the least biased party you could possibly imagine promoting it on Instagram. Exploiting people's insecurities about their weight, particularly when they're pregnant and don't feel great about their body, to sell her sham of a product, which is, you know, great. Very moral individual. And for a measly over $100 per month. But anyway, the notable thing here, which I've just fucking gasped at because I genuinely can't believe it, is this bit here. Can I use it breastfeeding or pregnant? To which Karissa Collins responds with, I did, and it was the greatest blessing in pregnancy and postpartum. I have a midwife article going into detail if you're interested. However, I've just checked the Plexus website and, well, just have a look at this. Is it safe to drink Plexus Slim whilst pregnant or breastfeeding? You know, we just heard it from Karissa Collins herself. It's perfectly fine. It's the greatest blessing ever. It's the best thing you could possibly do. Oh, hang on. What's the answer here? Do not use if pregnant or nursing. So what the fuck is going on here then, Karissa Collins? You fucking piece of shit! You are literally advocating people to do something that is incredibly dangerous for both you and the child. Particularly the fucking child here. You cannot promote it and encourage it on your fucking Instagram and then over on the website say that you cannot do it. This cannot be legal. This can't be legal. You're the fucking brand ambassador, man. You've got a responsibility to tell people not to do it. Oh, but you were fucking sneaky about it, to be fair, because she hasn't explicitly said, no, don't take it whilst breastfeeding or pregnant, but she has said, I did use it whilst breastfeeding or pregnant, which, for all we know, could be a lie. In fact, it definitely is a fucking lie. You sneaky fucking bastard. That's genuinely disgusting, man. Fucking cold-blooded scammer. What kind of Christian values are this, you fucking... I can't say the C word, but this is genuinely, like, horrific behavior here. I've not got mad yet in the recording. This is, like, the first time during the recording where I'm actually fucking seething here. That fucking really grinds my gears. That is actually horrible. The more you deep it, the more sick and twisted it gets. It's almost as bad as that fucking horrible shirt you're wearing, pal. Looks like something you'd buy from fucking Temu like 15 years ago. I pooped today. Well done, pal. You're a fucking fully grown woman. Oh no, I take that all back. Look at this. They lost 7 pounds in 3 days with the Plexus reset. So you're telling... Oh, you fucking idiot, man. Like, this lady is such a clown. They've just come out of pregnancy and they're losing a bit of weight and they're attributing it to the Plexus reset. Do you not think maybe it's because you no longer have a fucking human being inside of you and your body is sort of getting used to no longer having a baby inside of it anymore? Do you think maybe that could be the cause of the weight loss and not the fucking sham of a drink that you're selling to everyone? Do you think maybe that's a possibility? You fucking arsehole! Knowing her, she's probably holding a fucking brick in the first picture though. Oh boy, my palms are sweating. I'm getting real heated here. Now there was quite a big controversy as well with the child Anthem, which isn't as bad of a name as the others, I'll give her that. It's quite a nice name, Anthem. Anthem unfortunately got very ill at one point and there was a whole situation regarding it. A lot of people were pointing the finger at Karissa. A lot of people were, you know, sending their condolences, thinking that it was just a natural thing. A lot of people blamed it on the vaccinations, of course, but Karissa conveniently made a 10-minute video explaining the whole situation. We'll not watch all of it, but we'll get a bit of a gist.
So this is Anthem. She's 2.5. And so when she was 11 months old, so about a year ago, when she was 11 months old, we had to end up taking her to the hospital. And so there's a lot of people saying that we ignored the signs. Well, let me just say, as 11-month-old, there weren't any signs. Friday night, she had a 99-degree fever. She was still eating and drinking. When your child has a low-grade fever, you don't just rush them to the ER. You just let them rest and let whatever virus that they have run its course.
Okay, so that was just a small clip, but we'll skip ahead a couple of minutes. Basically, the rundown is that the wee kid got a UTI. It was showing signs of it, and it couldn't, you know, hold its head up properly. It couldn't smile at the mother. So they took it to ER, but not before finishing the very important basketball game that they were watching, obviously. It stayed in ER for about 19 days, where they found out that it had the UTI. It was a very scary situation, obviously, which is fair enough, and they got the baby back 19 days later, and now... Well, let's hear her out.
So, as of a few months ago, in March, 2 weeks after I brought my newborn baby home, the same thing happened. She ended up getting a 99-degree fever one day. We just thought she's had lots of viruses. She's had fever before. We just let it pan out. I do take her to urgent care. They send us home. So, I was like, you know what? Just take her to urgent care just to be sure. So my husband took her to urgent care with her 99-degree fever. She got there. They did because she had already been hospitalized with a UTI, they did a urine test and she ended up having a UTI again. There were no signs. By the time they tested her, her pee did come back dark, but they said that she looked fine. That was the only concerned. They gave her a shot in her leg and sent her home and said, give her antibiotics, she should be over it soon.
Okay, so basically the same thing happened again, but luckily, once again, the kid came out on the better end of it all, so everything's okay now. It's just on a specified treatment, which is good, and hopefully it, stays that way. The worst fucking nightmare for any parent is, something horrible happening to their kids. So now Karissa's gonna clear up any misconceptions about this whole situation.
The other thing I just wanted to say was, please do not attack a mother's child or their ability or concern for their children. It is heartbreaking to see your children sick. The absolute hardest part about having kids in general, but it's even harder when you have a lot of kids, is sickness. Because sickness spreads through your whole home because nobody wants to see their children sick. That is the hardest part of having a big family or just having children, period, is to see them sick. You literally would die for them. You would give your life for them. My husband always said when she was in the hospital, take our kidney, take our liver, whatever you need, take it. Like, I will lose my life to give it to my daughter. God has a calling and a purpose for her, and I want her to thrive. They still had her on the high flow oxygen, which seemed to make her so much worse. Like, she really hated, when someone blows in your face and you're like, that's how she was for a long time. Like, what is this in my face? I really didn't think she needed it. I don't even really know why they gave it to her, but so I kept telling them, can you please put her back on regular oxygen? This seems to be bothering her. But I guess it was protocol. I don't know. So, it was an exhausting day. My husband sent me home like 11 o'clock that night, maybe midnight, to get some rest and come back in the morning.
I don't know, man. Me personally, if the doctors were telling me, like, look, we're trying to save your baby here, they need the high oxygen, I wouldn't go, you know what, I think I know more than you, Mr. Medical Professor. What do you got? Fucking doctorate, PhD? Fuck all that, man. I'm the mother. I know what's best for my baby. Put them on the regular oxygen right now. I know their life is literally at stake here, but do as I say. She also, of course, in classic TikTok family channel fashion, documented the whole thing, posted these extremely intimate photos of the baby, which we're not going to show completely, these will be heavily blurred. And also in classic family channel fashion, they use weird language like the full story to come, as though this is a fucking Avengers level trailer for a movie that's coming out. As though people are sat there behind their screens rubbing their hands. I can't wait to hear this story about Karissa Collins' daughter who almost died. Fucking waiting on bated breath on the edge of their seat for this fucking mind-shattering story. Fuck Home Alone. You get your family around and watch this on Christmas Day. Yesterday, Anthem started puking everywhere, all over me, all afternoon. She got a small fever and was lethargic. I immediately was filled with fear. Debilitating fear. So you took her to the doctors, right? Considering that they've had, previous issues with UTIs and metabolic problems. Obviously, knowing that, you took them to the doctors because this could potentially be a bit of a relapse, something serious, right? That's what you did, right? You took them to the doctors, right? That's what you did. You took him to the doctors because that's what you're supposed to do, is take him to the doctors, right? I decided to take him to the doctors. That's what you did, right? You start praying and praising with all of my children. Right. Well, I suppose that's the second best option. We spent 2+ hours screaming praise and Anthem was immediately healed. Were they immediately healed or were they healed after 2+ hours? I don't know. I don't think you know what immediately means, pal. While we sang, she danced, played, ate, and drank, and all of my children were screaming praises. It was life-giving. What a lovely fucking jubbly story right there. It's all peaches and roses and ice cream. I'm sorry. First of all, I am glad, and this is the most important thing, I'm very glad that the kid ended up being okay. But the fact that there was a chance the kid couldn't have been okay is reprehensible in my opinion. When you have that amount of money, you take your fucking kids to the doctor, especially when they've had previous, indications of very bad health. If an adult has a fever and starts fucking puking everywhere all over people, yeah, fair enough. A lot of people will just sort of tough it out and deal with it for a few days, but a lot of people would go to the doctor or ER or call the GP or something and no one would judge them for it. So when you're a fucking baby, it's like, that's the least you should do. Jesus Christ, Naz, definitely blur this photo. It's just a fucking straight up photo of Anthem with a diaper on the fucking Instagram. Like, they're naked, they've just got a diaper on, and there's the diaper hasn't been cleaned. Like, there's no wonder they're getting fucking UTIs, because Karissa Collins is notorious for not cleaning their baby's fucking diapers on time. Because I guess there's just too many of them. She has literally on record said shit like, oh, I don't always replace the diapers when my baby's piss. Yeah, maybe it's not the I don't think it's the vaccination. Just spat everywhere. I don't think it's the fucking vaccinations that are causing all the problems here. Once again, it might be a result of your shitty parenting. Literal shitty parenting in this case. Yeah, look, I mean, here's her saying it right here. I don't change every pee. Like I said, the diaper wasn't even that full. As Anthem was in the hospital last month, and as I stared at her in ICU on a ventilator, fucking hell, like, why? Another fucking story about Anthem almost dying. How many times are you gonna go over this shit? Can you not give the kids some sort of semblance of privacy? Is nothing special to you? Can you not have a private moment as a family? Does that not? Of course it doesn't fucking exist. I don't even know why I'm asking. They show fucking everything, this family. It's great. It's really uncomfortable. I had to come face to face with this question as I sat there completely out of control, yet still trying to control every move, thought and breath that came out of me. I had to... I've read ahead slightly, and Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think anything can prepare you for what I'm about to read out to you. What did she have to ask herself? What is her worry here? I had to ask myself, what if God asks me to sacrifice her? What? 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 This is like really disturbing, dude. This is like a fucking horror movie. Imagine having this creature as your mother. Imagine knowing that your mother could wake up one day thinking that they've received a vision or have been told from God to sacrifice one of you, and that if she was to be told something like that, yeah, she'd fucking do it. Too many people won't sacrifice for God, and when it's over and the battle is lost, they blame God and fall away from him. Are we being serious here? Are we willing to give up what we cherish the most, our children, in order to serve the Lord? No! 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 You shouldn't know. You shouldn't be willing to do that. I wouldn't have killed my fucking cat if I thought I got a voice from God telling me to do it. I just think I gone schizophrenic. I think I gone mental. I go to the doctor and get some meds and get something prescribed. I wouldn't go, oh, vision from God, gotta go stab Prince. This is how I know I've become way too chronically online now. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was about to call her Delulu. Which, you know what? Fuck it. She is Delulu. If there ever was a time to use the word Delulu, it would be here. I had to give up control in that hospital room. This is fucking, like, terrifying. This is oh my goodness. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't even know what to say. It's that bad. Fuck me. Dude. Jesus. You're willing to kill your kid, but you're not willing to vaccinate. You think abortion is wrong, but you are literally willing to actually murder your child. How can you think abortion is wrong and then justify murdering your 1-year-old as a sacrifice to God? Fucking cuckoo. When Andre broke his hand, God spoke to me. He said, this is his Goliath. Andre had faced a bear by watching me go through healing with Ansir, and when God healed my rib only a few weeks before, he faced the lion when he allowed God to heal his blisters, and now he got to face Goliath by believing in a great healing of his hand. What the fuck is this woman on about, man? This is just completely unhinged. Also, do all of her children have names that start with the letter A? Your kids aren't a science project, man. They're fucking kids. Name them like children. We see the x-ray and the bones are aligned perfectly. So they said because the hand broke, but then they prayed and all of a sudden the hand weren't broken anymore. Bullshit! It's not real! It's a fake story! She made this up! All the hand wasn't broke. Maybe he just fucking hurt his hand. Maybe he was boxing, hitting the fucking punching bag, practicing for, I don't know, when he sees a child that God wants him to sacrifice. You know, gives a nice right straight, but doesn't tense his hand enough and fucking cracks his wrist in a weird way, and then that healed after a couple days. Anyway, Anchor broke his leg on Sunday at a trampoline park going down the slide, and then, oh, guess what? They prayed, and all of a sudden the leg weren't broken no more. Forgive me for not believing this fucking sham of a story. Like, to be fair, when you promote products like the ones you are promoting in such scammy and disgusting ways, I find it difficult to believe you when you say anything now. Which wouldn't have been a problem anyway, because this story is just, again, obvious bullshit. Sure, the kid probably hurt his leg going down the fucking trampoline slide thing, but they didn't break it, because if they broke it, a prayer wouldn't be enough to fix it. I'm sorry, like. Ansif fell off the monkey bars on Friday, and we found out she broke her elbow. Well, I wonder what happened here. Fucking tosser, honestly. Would this not be a huge story? Would the doctors not want to investigate these broken bones miraculously healing overnight? I feel like this would be pretty well documented. Is this really where God's priorities lie? You know, all those children suffering with terminal illnesses and, you know, their families are going through some horrible shit, some of the worst things that people can go through. Fuck their prayers. We don't need to answer them, but Karissa Collins' child who hurt their elbow when they fell off the monkey bars, that's where our attention really needs to be, you know, diverted to. Good to know it's good to know that God has his priorities straight. Yo, what is this dad doing? What the fuck? That's not right. You can't hold a fucking baby like that. I keep using my cat as like comparison, but you can't even hold my cat like that. Also, side note, this kid here looks fucking horrified. They look so ridiculously unhappy, and who can even blame them? I don't understand why our kids keep getting ill and breaking bones and having injuries. Meanwhile, they're proudly posting pictures like fucking that to their Instagram. This post here, she's flexing about the kid having won a basketball game with a broken foot. That's not the flex you think it is. That's actually extremely negligent parenting. And once again, probably bullshit, because your kid's not winning a fucking basketball game with a broken foot. He might have hurt his toe, you know? David A. Klitschko style. Such a niche reference. Big ups if you get that, but I'm guessing not a lot of you will. One of the kids woke up with a swollen eye and then they prayed and got rid of it. Woohoo, I'm done with this fucking line of, we're done with the prayers, miraculously healing fucking everything. We're moving on from that. And into a more happy topic. A topic that I'm sure we can all look at and laugh. Racism. That is not a real photo. That is so edited, it's unreal. I mean, it looks way more natural there. The kid just looks like a baby. Just looks like a baby in this photo. Or it's a video here. It's an Instagram reel that's been screenshotted and the baby looks like a normal, healthy baby. But here, however, they look like a fucking doll. Like, this is so obviously whitewashed. They've edited the baby to look whiter than it actually is. I know I'm saying it. I don't mean to use it. I probably should use they. I don't know if it's a boy or it again. I don't know if they're a boy or a girl. The name doesn't exactly help because their name is fucking Arrow. But I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty clear that she's whitewashing her children. When you see early photos of the family like this, it's like they look so normal. It looks so nice. Whenever I look at photos of these like mega evangelical families with like before they had the 15 children, I always wonder like if they just stopped there, how much better would their lives be and the children's lives be, and how much less famous would they be? The lack of fame would probably contribute to the improvement of these children's lives, by the way. They just get bigger and then the family just gets bigger and bigger and whiter and whiter. I mean, it looks as though the filter that they used on this one didn't reach their fucking legs. Either they're half kid, half horse, or once again they've been whitewashed. Jesus Christ, are all these children like, you know when you're editing on like an editing software and you can choose to like fade in from one color to another? Is that just how their children are built? Instead of having a mixed child when like a black parent and a white parent have a child, and so the kid comes out not as white as the white one but not as black as the black one, instead the kid comes out black on the bottom half, white on the top half. Honestly, it's an evangelical miracle. I mean, come on, like, this is ridiculous. They've modeled sweaters based off of the children, and as you can see, the sweaters do not reflect the children's actual skin colors. They're just fucking white on the sweaters. Yeah, all the sweaters they're all just white. Like, this is just disturbing. Why are you so opposed to showing their actual skin color? Their mixed skin color? Oh god, okay, this is getting like ridiculous now. What the fuck is this? How the fuck do I get accusations of being AI, but these guys are all these are all fine and dandy? Yeah, I mean, the kids look mixed, and then on the sweater, they're just white. They don't even tan, they go fucking red. They're that white. These kids are gonna grow up to have very deeply ingrained identity issues. These kids should be fucking proud to be black. You know, they should be encouraged. They shouldn't be fucking shunned away from it and told that they're white. It's grim. Really, really, really grim. Anyway, here's her justifying homeschooling because, of course, she gets all her kids homeschooled. I say justifying homeschooling as if homeschooling is inherently a bad thing. I don't think that at all. I think there are cases where, you know, it's perfectly fine. But obviously, with families like this one, it's very likely that they're not getting their children homeschooled in the most sustainable way. And it's just more of a way to keep them isolated from actually making friends with anybody outside of their family. And if they went to school, it would sort of solve a lot of those issues. The system has seared us into believing that a 6-year-old who isn't reading is dangerously behind, but the truth is that we're pushing many kids to learn to read before they're ready. It's true. I agree with that one, to be fair. Maybe not all 6-year-olds can read, and that's perfectly fine. There's so many factors that come into it. You'd be an arsehole to judge a 6-year-old or their family for a 6-year-old not being able to read fluently. That being said, here's Karissa's oldest, 13 at the time, struggling to read.
Dear Collins kids, this is a little symbol of who your new neighbors will be in the future. I will give you 5 clues and let's see if you can guess who it might be. Clue 1. It is someone you have known for a long time. Shaq, Darlene!
Keep reading the clues.
Is it Darlene?
I don't know. Keep reading the clues.
Someone who has a clue too. Someone who has watched all grow up and that loves you all very much.
To be fair, it's not horrible. Like, it's obvious that she can read, maybe just not as well as a 13-year-old should be able to, considering how much money this family has and, you know, the access that they have to education. I feel like, once again, this whole thing about, like, trying to spread this idea of homeschooling being a good idea and accepting children who might not be as literate as quickly as others, which is a fair thing to spread, is perfectly reasonable, right? I think you'd be an arsehole to judge an adult who's illiterate, right? Because you just never know what situation that they're in. But it's tough to tell whether or not she's promoting those ideas because she genuinely cares about them or just to justify her shitty behavior and lack of effort in teaching her children to read or educate them. Also, we're not going to watch this whole fucking video, but the letter is just her announcing that they've convinced someone to move into the neighborhood so that they can watch her kids for her. Fucking mother of the century. Also, side note, something I'm looking at now, which is actually making me a bit sad. I'm sure a lot of the black viewers watching will also have picked up on this as well. All of the hair is tied back. Like, not one of these children is letting their hair down, and that is genuinely quite depressing in my opinion. Because I don't think it's a stylistic choice or a choice of comfort for these children to tie their hair back because they just want it tied back like that. It's probably because, I know this might be a bit presumptuous, but I think it's because fucking Karissa Collins can't be bothered how to figure out how to do black hair. Or maybe it's because, I mean, when you take the whole whitewashing thing into account, and this is really dark, maybe it's because she's ashamed of their black hair and wants them to look as white as possible. Like, hair is such an important part of black identity. This shit genuinely breaks my heart. So this is her teaching, this is the homeschooling, right? So, I mean, let's have a look at these maths, right? We'll go back to school and figure out how good we are, right? Let's see if we've kept sharp over the years. 5 over 7 times 4 over 6 equals 20 over 42, which equals 10 over 12 minus 5 over 6? Sorry? The first 3 fractions, those look fine to me. You take the numerator, the denominator. When you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the top 2 and the top bottom, and then the bottom ones as well. So 5 times 4 is 20, 7 times 6, 42, 20 over 42. Yeah, fair enough. But that does not equal 10 over 12. Did she mean to put 21? It's 10 over 21, surely, right? And yet, no wonder the fucking 13-year-old was struggling to read. You can't even do basic fucking multiplication, subtract. You can't even do BODMAS. Anyway, CPS time, baby. When the trolls come out, but we know who God created us to be. Go ahead and call CPS. They've cleared us same day 4 times. We have nothing to hide. We love God and we love our children. We even love you. Well, that's a weight off my shoulders, Karissa. You're the only person that I've ever seeked love from. We know who God created us to be and we'll continue walking in it. Yeah, I mean, this should be obvious, but definitely do not call CPS on these people. Like, you don't have any connection to them. Encouraging CPS calls on the internet for people that you don't know is fucking grim.
Give y'all 3 reasons why you should stop calling CPS. Number 1, we serve Yahweh, a mighty God who avenges his enemies.
That is hang on. That is reason number 1 why CPS should be called, actually, because you are willing to sacrifice one of your children for Yahweh. Look, guys, the reason you shouldn't call CPS is because I would kill my child if I thought God wanted me to.
A mighty God who avenges his enemies. Number 2, we have nothing to hide. We're doing nothing wrong. And number 3, you're wasting your time and energy. There's nothing CPS has against us, and they keep closing the cases.
And that was a really great Watch Mojo top 3 reasons why you shouldn't call CPS on Karissa Collins. You know, I miss a good top 10 list, so I guess a top 3 makes a good second. People reported you, Instagram or CPS? Both. Last year, social media reported us to CPS 4 times for hearing voices, God, not vaccinating, believing in healing. Believing in healing. That's a funny way to say taking the cast off of your daughter's fucking broken leg and just waiting for it to heal with prayers. I think that goes beyond just believing in healing. I think people do greatly underestimate the body's ability to heal itself, but your body doesn't just fucking mend bones like super glue. Karissa Collins allows her children to slap her stomach with a dead fetus inside. There's a lot of things wrong with this video, a lot of questions that I have that I don't even necessarily want answered. First of all, they played Ed Sheeran over this video here. We're gonna have to replace that for copyright reasons. You know that one song where it's like, I was thinking out loud, that I don't know why they picked that for this video. I don't know if it was Karissa or the one who reposted the video. I hope it's the reposter, because that'd be even worse if Karissa fucking put that song over it. But I also want to know, like, do these kids know that there's a dead fetus inside of the belly that they're smacking happily, giddily, excitedly laughing? Are they understanding of the gravitas of this situation, the sadness of what's going on here? This is a sign to forget the slime and squish toys at the store and just let them play with your flub. And of course, she's not, you know, getting the fetus, like, removed surgically or from the doctor or whatever. They're just sort of waiting for it to pass naturally, which has a whole host of issues, of course. But I mean, really, would we expect anything more at this point? This is a fucking dark video, but it's so, like, the juxtaposition between the sadness of what's going on here and the happiness of the children, it does boggle me slightly. She made a response to this and the backlash she was getting, because fucking of course she did. Like, this is not a normal video to post on any level.
Now, the first thing I want to say is I apologize. When I posted that video, what's on other people's minds was not on my mind at all. Never thought of it that way. It was a cute moment with me and my children. I didn't think anybody would even, like, watch it.
What do you mean you do? What? You get millions of views every video, woman. What do you mean you thought no one would fucking watch it? You're one of the biggest family channels on the fucking internet. You have, like, videos with hundreds of millions of... You thought no one would... Fuck off, you thought no one would watch it. What a load of pish. This is why you don't fucking record everything. This is why some moments are meant to remain private. I mean, that is just the worst fucking excuse that I've ever heard, possibly. Like, genuinely.
A person, I'm sure more people have said, that I used it as clickbait. Now, the first thing I want to address is I don't do clickbait. I don't like controversy. I don't post offensive things for followers. I don't want followers like that. I'm not all about a following. I just am simply here to share the message that God has given me.
And also to scam people. Is that what God told you to do? So scam people and trick them into drinking something that will harm that, potentially make their baby seriously ill. Is that the positive message you're trying to fucking send out there, you genuine piece of shit? This woman's straight up evil. Like, actually evil. You know, we cover a lot of bad people on this channel, a lot of people with questionable morals, a lot of morally grey people. Try to find the good side of things. I try to sort of remain neutral a lot of the time. I feel comfortable calling this woman evil. She's got a very dark, dark soul.
You can rely on him to give you his blessings in children and what I believe the Bible says about that. People find that offensive, dangerous, disgusting, and disturbing, and I don't know why. So let me just quickly address what my theology is, because, I mean, if that's the word you want to use, people are saying my theology is messed up. This is what we believe. We believe that all life is from God, that he knows you before he forms you in the womb.
Now, this video is fucking 18 minutes long. We're not watching the whole thing. There's a lot of excuses, a lot of rambling, a lot of sympathy, I guess, begging, which there is a level of sympathy that needs to be had here for sure. Like, miscarriages are a fucking horrible thing to go through. You wouldn't even fucking know she was going through something horrible from that video, to be fair. And once again, yeah, she's deciding to naturally let the baby go instead of getting it removed from a medical professional, which could, you know, cause sepsis and fucking kill you. Pregnancy update, I'm still waiting to fully miscarry. The waiting game is crazy and confusing and full of emotions. I see the doctor in 2 weeks, and while I'm ready to move on, I'm committed to caring for this baby until it's over. Hashtag miscarriage 4. What a fucking hashtag that is. I'm telling you, man, like, this was recent as well. This was like 20 days ago. Like, something bad very easily could have happened to her. I'm hoping that the fetus isn't in her anymore and that, you know, it has been miscarried safely. Anyway, enough of that. Now we're gonna move on to more of her products, starting with this book, which has an amazing title, Raising Arrows for Christ, all the controversial topics we don't want to talk while biblically parenting. That is the best grammar I've ever seen. Let's have a look at some of the reviews, shall we? A slippery slope of theological nonsense. Honestly, that is like the best sentence to describe her entire career. The grammar and formatting are atrocious. Self-published doesn't have to mean unedited and not proofed. The content is too mature for kids. To piggyback off number 2, the whole explanation of what is and is not biblically allowed in the marriage bed is way out of bounds. You don't make those decisions for other believers. What is in in this book, man. The author believes you will be healed from any illness, disease, broken bones, etc. if your faith is strong enough. Yeah, that about checks out. The constant use of the word Yah in reference to God is her prerogative, but it's super annoying. We're getting petty here, baby, and I fucking like it. She frequently mentions that God told her to do this or that, but she does it in a way that puts words in God's mouth, so to speak, and that's a slippery slope of theological nonsense. This guy is well put. I want to read a book from this fucking bloke. She advises women to go against their doctor's advice. This is dangerous in general, but specifically for birthing at home, which she encourages with no medical supervisor. Mate, this fucking book is like, I almost want to read it just for the fun of it. There is no need to talk about children in an in-depth way when it comes to their private parts. What, that is like, what fucking book would you ever get that critique in other than this one? You can give your opinion on circumcision, for example, without going into the specifics about your actual children. They have a right to privacy. What is she doing in this book, man? She's going in depth about the fucking anatomy of their children's fucking genitalia. That's insanity. Here's another book with another amazing title. Should we stop, tackling all the reasons people stop having children and what God's word says about it. Jesus, look at this image, man. This is very suggestive in one of the worst ways possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read the reviews this time, but they're pretty much exactly what you'd expect.
I went on birth control knowing that, but I was like, I'm not going to prevent future children, you know, and the vasectomy is permanent. Well, every single day for a week that I put that pill in my mouth, I knew. Okay, birth control, we're going to watch this clip, but this is off the bat. What the fuck is this podcast? What is the point of having the microphone there when you're using the camera audio? Like, this is not audio from that microphone, which is in front of her bastard face. They're using the audio from the fucking camera, so what's the point of the mic? You can afford more than this. You've got a big budget, Karissa. Like the Bible says, anything not done in faith is sin. And so I knew I was sinning. Like, I knew without a shadow of a doubt I was not obeying the Lord, and I was going against his exact words to me. And so I told my husband, this was the hardest thing I've done so far in our marriage, I really believe, that I've had to do. I said, I'm giving you over to a vasectomy because I can't partake in sin. So I said, I will not pull out. I will not do anything that is going to prevent God from giving us life and blessing our family. Wow. And I said, I can't partake, but I also can't force you. And so I said, you can get a vasectomy, but you will stand before the Lord one day and you will account for what you've done. You will stand in front of the Lord one day and fucking you'll have to take accountability for all the cream pies you refuse to give to me. What is this girl on about, man? I've been on the pill before. We used to pull out. If you get pregnant, is that life from God, or did you just create it yourself from nothing? Why would we deny his gift of life or prevent it? It's the heart of abortion. If you're preventing, are you really pro-life? Jesus Christ. I'm not even, honestly, I feel like I don't even need to rebuke these claims. They're that dumb. If you pull out, of your woman when you're shagging them, then you're not allowed to be pro-choice. You know, that's contradictory. It's hypocritical. Not only is it hypocritical, but it's also the devil's work. You know, celibacy or abstinence is also a form of prevention. So is every living, waking moment where you're not having sex preventing having a child? Is that a sin? Is it a sin to be alive and not have sex when you're capable of doing so? Because that's kind of what you're arguing here. And if not, then where's the line exactly?
Yesterday, Mandre had the day off, so we were having some family time on the trampoline. Mandre seized the opportunity to check Anissa's diaper for poo and have a poo fight on the trampoline. This would never be okay for a couple without children, but once you have children, everything goes. Now that we have been thoroughly grossed out, like I said, if I have to see it, you do too. It's all fun and games until your husband reaches into your kid's diaper and throws their shit at you. Hey, that's disgusting. That's gross. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There are definitely times where, hey, my kid's thrown up on me. He's peed on me. I have, poop on my hand, or, oh my God, what's that on my elbow? Is that poop or is it chocolate? That's a fun game to play. But if my spouse ever reached into my kid's diaper, took out doo-doo and threw it at me, I'm honestly, I would be speechless.
Okay, I was about to say shout out to CC Suarez, who's like I ripped this clip from one of her videos on this whole situation, but after listening to that, no, fuck you, CC Suarez, for sharing that piece of information with me. I'm not happy about that at all. On a real, big up CC Suarez. She's done great videos on this topic. I can't believe we're just moving. Honestly, if that was like the first thing we covered in this video, I would have sat here and talked for 10 minutes about how her husband threw literal shit on her. But it was so far into the video that I'm listening to that and going like, oh yeah, makes sense. Sort of fits the character profile of who these weird fuckers are. LGBTQ is absolutely a sin and abomination against God, and many are saying it's not any worse than every other sin, which isn't true. Oh, that's nice of you. LGBTQ is horrible. It's so wrong, but I'll give him credit. It's not the worst thing in the world. There are some things that are worse. Like murder is worse than being gay. It's so charitable, Karissa. Thank you so fucking much. With the amount of children that she has, it's very likely that at least one of them is in some way, shape, or form part of the LGBTQ community at some point when they're older. I wonder how they deal with that. Also, man shall not sleep with man, for those who don't know, is a mistranslation of man shall not sleep with boy, which is, I guess, an injunction to, you know, deny or condemn pedophilia. You know, it's not actually a condemnation of homosexuality. That's why Pope Francis was a fucking guy, because he came out and was like, yeah, if you're gay, it's cool, whatever. Also, if being LGBTQ was, or being homosexual was, you know, a sin or unnatural, and God didn't make us that way, then why are so many animals gay? Why is there so much homosexuality in the animal kingdom? It's natural. Like, being gay is natural. Homosexuality is actually extremely natural. There's instances of it all over the animal kingdom. In fact, in many animal societies, the people at the top of said hierarchy are the homosexual ones. You know what's not natural, however? Homophobia. There's no homophobia in the animal kingdom. It's funny that, isn't it? Like, homosexuality is about as natural as a fucking patch of grass, but homophobia about as natural as Karissa Collins on camera promoting her drink product. Your beliefs are your beliefs, which is fine, but you know what else happens in June? Juneteenth. Something to celebrate for your husband and children, yet I've never seen a post about your family making memories, traditions, or celebrating it. Why not use your page to continue to educate and celebrate the other half of your babies? It's a very good point. It's not even just Juneteenth, like, because we don't really do Juneteenth here in the UK, obviously, so it's not something that immediately jumped out at me, but like it's nothing. There is nothing about the kid's black identity at any point in any other videos. It's almost it's as though she's ashamed of it. It's as though she doesn't like it. You know, I feel like we should have ended the video after the shit story, to be honest with you. So I think now is as good a time as any to finish the video. I think we're done here with Karissa Collins. I feel like we're in such a bad mood now. We've gone through so much shit that we got to end this video on a happier note. So why not talk about Prince? Because Prince is lovely, and I love him, and he's the best cat in the world. So let's read some comments that you guys have said about Prince that are fucking horrible. You guys have been bullying him, and I'm calling you out for it. To be fair, I'm reading it now. I feel like I'm being fucking gaslit here. These comments are really nice now. All right, you know what? I'm gonna keep scrolling until I find a negative one, and we're gonna shame them. Okay, I've scrolled through. I've searched for the word cat in my comments, and I can't find any negative ones. So you know what? Big ups to all of you. These are very supportive. I appreciate it, but more importantly, we Prince appreciates it as well. So, with that being said, I think the video's over. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye. All right, Prince. Say goodbye to. Oh, Naz thinks you're ugly. Actually, yeah, I need to end it on that. My fucking editor thinks that the cat is ugly. So shame on my editor. Yeah, he provides these videos for you to watch, and we appreciate him for that. But shame on Naz for making fun of Prince and calling him a raw chicken. Fuck you, Naz. Please don't sabotage the edit and make me look bad, though.